Aloha everybody, Barry Harris here, and I'd like to welcome you to the first installment of what I hope to be many cooking videos here on my channel. I always start off by saying that I'm not a chef, nor do I pretend to be one, but I am a guy who loves to cook. I'm a huge foodie. I love trying new cuisines. I love trying new spices, different recipes, things of that nature, and I like trying different techniques of preparing food as well. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to start with a little seafood. I have some shrimp, and some people who aren't used to working with shrimp have trouble peeling shrimp. So I want to go through a little process of what I use when I start to peel shrimp that makes it easy for me. Oh, and one more thing. We'll be using raw shrimp for today's examples. Although the peeling techniques can be used with raw or cooked shrimp, we'll be using raw shrimp today. So what I have here are 5 examples of shrimp that I'm going to use to show you how I like to peel my shrimp. The first thing I do is to start on one side, and I just happen to be right-handed. So I start on one side, take my thumb and peel the legs to one side from left to right. Just snap those off from the shell. When you're done, you should have a clean break where there's separation between the shell and the legs. Now if you'll notice in the back here, there are 2 little ridges on the tail. I separate those as well. I'll just take one side of that, peel it across, and do the same thing. Again, making sure that there's a clean seam all the way through. That way I can pull the shrimp right out of the shell. Now for the tail, some people do like the tail on the shrimp. I usually take the tail off because I figure that after 5, 6, 7 pieces of shrimp, this tail will probably include at least one shrimp, the equivalent of one shrimp, but you're throwing all that away. So when I want to take a clean shell off the tail of the shrimp, I just tug on the ends, tug, tug, and it pulls right off. Let's do that again with another one. Just take that from left to right, peel those legs, snap them away from the shell to make sure you got each piece. And then go on to that tail piece, snap that away. And you have a whole clean shell to peel off. And then to get that tail off, you're just going to tug one side, tug the other side, and it pulls right off. One more time. Legs left to right, all the way down. Take the tail, peel that over too, left to right. Take that shell off. You have 2 fins there. Be careful because this tail end, this will stick you if you aren't careful, so be careful when you're fanning those tails out. So pull the tails apart, one tug on one side, another tug on the other side, and it pulls right out. Just as clean as can be. So now that we've peeled the shrimp, I want to take you through the process of what I use. Once again, I'm not a professional chef, nor do I claim to be, but I want to take you through a process that I use to devein the shrimp. In most cases, you want to go down the spine, take a sharp knife, a paring knife or something similar. Be careful when you do because it's easy for that knife to slip off the back of the shrimp. And just take a little small incision down the spine of the shrimp. Take that rascal all the way down. Be careful on the tail because again it can slip off. And you should be able to peel the skin back. If there's any membrane or a vein that's in there, you should be able to see it clearly. And just because you don't see anything that's dark doesn't mean that there's not a vein there. So you can still pull the vein out if you choose to do so, as I did. And you have your deveined shrimp. Let's do one more. Pulling down the spine. Small incision down the back of the spine, all the way through. And see with this one you can see more of the vein inside, so you know exactly what you're pulling for. So I usually just pull that little bit out, pull it right on out, Just have a napkin or something on the side there to wipe the vein on. And it's not necessary. I mean, if you, sure you've had shrimp that weren't deveined at all, so it's not a bad thing if you don't devein it, but it's always better if you do. Another way that I devein shrimp, and depending on what it is, if I don't want the butterfly style and the split down the back, I'll simply just find the vein in the front, stretch the shrimp out, and just pull the vein right out. Comes out clean and easy. Let's see if I can do one more. Kind of pull the head back. You'll see that vein there. Again, sometimes the vein is clear and you may not see one. In that case, you want to go ahead and split the spine. But if you do find it, just see if you can pinch that, grab it very easy, very delicately. In this case, I only got a small piece, so I'm going to have to go ahead and devein the rest of the shrimp. Or split the rest of the shrimp, I should say. So it's not 100%, but more often than not, I'm able to pull the veins out without splitting the back of the shrimp. So there you go. 4 nice shrimp, deveined and ready to go. Well, that's it for now. Again, this is my first video. I hope to have many more to come. I hope I showed you a little something that'll be helpful for you in the future. And again, I always say I'm not a professional chef, nor do I claim to be. So these are not foolproof. These are not professional strategies to prepare shrimp or whatnot, but it works for me. And I thought I'd share it with you all. So I hope you got a lot out of it. Hope you can try that and hope it works for you. And hope to see you there in my next video. Aloha.